I'm like, I don't know how to act like around you when he's there, 'cause I don't know, does he care, does he not?
I don't know how to act either.
It's such a fucked up situation.
I know, because if I leave you too long, you might run away.
Hi everyone, just a housekeeping. I'm sorry for those that are not involved in this, but I feel the need to leave this message on this video because the person that made the remark was under a Love Island Australia review. I work a very demanding job. I get very stressed at work, and when I started my channel was a way of distressing because I have certain things that I do to distress, to cope with my job. So this is not my full-time job, and so because of that, I try and keep this as a happy space. I try and give my opinions based on what I see and what I think of the shows that I watch. I try not to name call, say anything derogatory to any of these participants. And if I do, I call myself out for that because that is not the goal of my channel. So for someone to come on here and assume because I'm supporting Dylan that I want Dylan to visit my Jerusalem, sorry, no. The reason why I support Dylan is I have family members that look like Dylan. I have watched a lot of reality TV and I've seen how people that look like Dylan are treated on shows like this. And this is why I support him. If Dylan does something wrong, I will call him out. But the audacity to come into my comments and make assumptions that I am stupid, I want to open my legs up to Dylan and this is why I'm praising him. You don't even know me. You don't even know what I look like. You could meet me in the street. You wouldn't even know who I am. So please, let us remember, this is a respectful space. If you are not happy, the door is open. You maintain your mental health. I maintain my mental health. And we're all at peace. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button. Turn on the notification bell when I upload new videos. And definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Australia, Season 6, Episode 13. I'm sorry to those that are not involved, but I had to get this off my chest because at the end of the day, this is my happy space. And if I cannot be happy in my happy space, where will I be happy? Thank you. So the islanders are out chilling by the pool, and you know the producers have something lined up. They're not going to just have them chilling out there. They're going to come up with a game for them. And just like clockwork, they send a message that the islanders are going to be playing a game. It's called Hot Dogs. So the guys dress up as firemen and the girls are dressed in these black swimsuits. And so you have them sort of in distress, and the boys go and save the cat, gyrate on a fire pole, and then sit in a cold tub of water while the girls ask them questions. And it's like, oh, whoever came up with this is a genius, isn't it? Anyway, first up is Zayn and Kayla. Zayn got 1 out of 3 right. His questions were, what is my favorite color? He got that right. Favorite gym? He didn't get that. And you had Sydney saying, how can he not know about the gym? Because that's all they seem to talk about. And that's one of the things that they have in common. Nothing else, just the gym. Because Kayla had already been asked by Mercedes that, are you locked in with, Zayn? And she said yes. And it's showing that Zayn might not be locked in. Another 10 might come in and then he might jump ship. Next up is Mimi and Steph. Well, Steph, yeah, he looked okay. He did amazing. Anyway, he was asked what city was I born in, how many siblings do I have, and favorite food, and he only got 1 out of 3 correct. That was a trend. You had Nico and Hannah. They've been together since day one, so you'd assume they'd get 3 out of 3, but hey, it is what it is. Nico got 2 out of 3. His were, what is my sister's name? What breed is my dog? And if I wasn't coupled up with you, who would I be coupled up with? He got that correct. That's his second one. The only one he didn't get was the sister's name. And then you had Taylor and M. It's becoming messy. It's becoming messy because you had Hannah complimenting Taylor's body, and it's like, I thought you said you were closed off. You were not interested in anybody else. So why are you admiring somebody else's man? Make it make sense. Or are you looking for a plan B in case Nico goes home? Anyway, so Taylor, he's asked, and he got 2 out of 3 correct. So he was asked, what's my mom's name? He didn't get that. What suburb do I live in? He got that. And what's my favorite movie? He got that as well. Next up was Chrissy and Dylan. You could tell Sophie was feeling some type of way. She was, excited. So Dylan's questions were, what is my star sign? And it's like, that's a given because they're both the same star sign. This is one of the things that they said they shared in common, and that's why they know that there are people who like sex. So obviously that was a given. She then asked, what's my favorite sex position? Dylan didn't get it correct. And what's my favorite drink? Dylan didn't get it correct, which makes me question, what exactly are they talking about if he does not know the answers to some of these simple things? Even Sophie was questioning that, how can he not know that? And if he, she was feeling some type of way and was waiting for him to get the sex position correct, because then she would have been in her feelings, because she would want to know how did they get to the sex position questions. Next up is Sophie and Mercedes. Well, he kisses her, and then after the kiss, you hear Mimi shout, "Best kiss yet, Sophie?" And it's like, Mimi, what's your problem? What's your beef with Dylan? Because this has nothing to do with the fact that she's complimenting Sophie or Mercedes the kiss. She's trying to get a reaction from Dylan, and she's been trying to get a reaction from him all along. I think her beef with him is the fact that she wanted him to chase her, and he didn't chase her. He didn't, because he stepped back as soon as she decided to sort of entice Steph to couple up with her. And now because of that, every time something happens, she has to sort of put her 2 cents in when it comes to Dylan, but when it's anybody else, she's got nothing to say. Anyway, Sophie's questions are, what date is my birthday? To which Mercedes got wrong. What is my love language? He got wrong. And then my job, obviously she told him she's a nurse, so you would have remembered that. And then next up was Sydney and Tommy. Tommy is after attention. He's after a viral moment. That's all he's after. He's not there to look for a partner. It's either, I don't want to talk about his sexuality because, anyway. So he took off his pants, and then the boy said, no, don't turn to us, turn to the girls. And he was wearing a thong swimsuit. And it's like, why? Why are you doing that? And the fact that he had his butt cheeks on the stripper pole, it's like, seriously, why? I don't get it. Anyway, he was asked 3 questions as well. He was asked what color are my eyes by Sydney. He didn't know her middle name. He got that. And he was also asked, what's my coffee order? He got that right. And I assume it's because maybe he makes a coffee, so he would have known what her coffee order is. The girls voted. What do I think? I think they just decided to give it to him just for the sake of it, because there's no reason why he should have won that. Anyway, Tommy won the challenge and everyone was happy. So after the game, you have Sophie sit down for a chat with Hannah twice. And I'm surprised that they have become this close of friends, because before we know that Santi was Hannah's best friend. So I don't know whether they've become friends for convenience or production have encouraged that friendship. Anyway, they're sort of talking about the challenge, and you have Hannah complaining bitterly that, Nico hasn't kissed her since the hideaway, and this is the first time he's kissed her, and she thinks he only did it because he was in front of his friends and he didn't want to look bad. And it's like, I've been calling this out. I've been saying this is a fake relationship. I've been saying that they want to be the mommy and the daddy of the villa because they know if they do that, then there's no chance that they're going to be sent home. And so the idea that suddenly she is now feeling Taylor doesn't make sense to me, because she had the opportunity to pursue Taylor and she said she stood back because her girl, Alicia, really was keen on him, because they had a second chat again, and it's like, why are they constantly having this little powwows here and there about this man? What are the producers trying to do? Are they trying to get her to swap partners and suddenly couple up with Tyler because Tyler is going after Chrissy? Make it make sense. I don't get it, because the only thing I can think of is production don't want the love triangle to end, so they want the love triangle between Chrissy and Sophie and Dylan to continue. So they've decided to, instead of putting Taylor in that combination, they've decided to switch him across to Hannah, and it's like, make it make sense. I don't get it. You have Mimi sit down for a chat with Steph, because Steph is anxious that, he forgot Mimi's siblings' names. And so he was actually speaking to Mercedes, and at one point he called M because he wanted to know how upset Mimi was. And I was like, nah, you're good. If it was Dylan, she would be mad, but you're good. She hasn't been upset with you about anything you've done wrong, so don't worry, you'll be fine. They sat down for a chat and Mimi was fine with it. Because I think what Steph does is, when he's in trouble, he plays at the language barrier thing. He starts pretending like he doesn't speak English. I don't know his English very well, his capabilities, because I haven't watched him before. This is my first time watching him, so I don't know whether he's play acting or whether he actually struggles to sort of pick up certain English words. to me, it comes across as this play acting. Anyway, all the islanders then go and get ready for the night. They come out and they pick up their drinks. So Mercedes does the toast, and then soon after we have Sophie Monk arrive, and she asks the islanders to gather around the fire pit. And having seen the cliffhanger from last week, we all knew that Nico and Zayn were the ones that are going to be the last two standing. Anyway, she reveals that someone will be dumped from the villa, and that the super fans, who is the diehard Love Island fans, I don't know who they are, have been voting, and they've chosen the guy that they think is most likely to find love. So everybody else, bar Nico and Zayn, sit down, and it's like, what do you mean? We all know what you're trying to do anyway. We all know what you're trying to do. There's no way they would send Zayn home, and there's no way they would send Nico home, because Nico has dedicated himself the dad of the villa. He's the advisor, the counselor in the villa, so he knows the producers are least likely to send him home. And Zayn, we all know Kayla came in for him. The girls seem to be really attracted to him for some reason, even though all he talks about is the gem. So it doesn't make sense. Sophie then reveals that actually they are not the bottom two. They're actually the ones with the most votes. And so because they have the most votes, they have to vote one girl to dump out of the villa. And on first glance, I'm like, why? They are like watching paint dry. There's nothing sort of outstanding about Zayn or Nico, really, if we're being honest. Zayn hasn't done anything outside of just sit there and have girls fall over him. And Nico, it's just been drama with him and his missus, and unnecessary drama like that. So I don't get why. But then on the other hand, I would rather they be the two standing there than have Tommy, Dylan, Steph, or Mercedes standing up there, because then that puts them in the line of fire. Who do I think they'll vote for? It's either going to be Sydney or M, because we all know that Taylor was sort of venting to Nico, saying that he really wanted to go after Chrissy and he doesn't know whether it's anything romantic. So I don't know whether it's now something romantic or whether he's still undecided, which means that they're going to end up voting Sydney out when we have Tommy, who's doing nothing. Tommy should have gone home. I'm sorry, but I'm not buying the excuses that were given by Zayn and Nico as their justification for picking Sydney. I have a feeling either Sydney went to the producers and said, I'm done, I want to go home, or they were messy and shady in how they picked Sydney, in the sense that we have watched Taylor have a conversation with Nico and tell Nico that he's really interested in exploring things with Chrissy to see if there's anything romantic there. So the audacity to say that, M and Taylor are very strong, M is here for the right reasons. Well, everybody's there for the right reasons, which is they want love and they also want to get paid. Nobody's just there for love. Let us be honest. Let us be honest, because you can go on dating sites, you can go out, you can do mixes, anything to find love. So the idea that they would go on TV to find love, some people are fortunate to find love when they go on the show, but everybody goes on the show to find love and to find a bag. So I'm not buying it. Chrissy, I don't get why they were putting Chrissy in the bottom, unless they were wanting to get rid of Chrissy so that Taylor could focus on M because they are close friends with M. Then that I understand. Otherwise, she's got a connection with Dylan. She's got a connection with Taylor. There was no reason for her to even be in their top two for consideration. Yes, Sydney, her connection was just a friendship. It wasn't a romantic connection. So I get the reason why they chose her, but I don't get their justification for people like M or even Chrissy, or as people that are likely to go home. You could tell that Sydney was done. She was done. She was fed up. She wanted to go home. The idea that these guys thought they were better than her, I don't think so. I think they knew that they couldn't play her. This is why they didn't like her. They knew they couldn't play her, so this is why they didn't choose her. Because you had Zayn say, she will find her guy, and hopefully that guy will be prepared to have her wear the pants in the relationship. And it's like, that's not a good enough reason for you to say that. That's not a good enough reason. Just say you were not man enough to stand up on business. When it comes to Sydney, you knew you could never sort of manipulate her the way you manipulated Zanti. Okay, I remember someone in the comments saying that Zanti was the mean girl. Or was it online where I read where someone was saying Zanti was the mean girl? Well, now we are seeing who was the captain of the mean girls, because you have Hannah have a conversation with Sophie and tell Sophie that she really likes Taylor and she's going to try and pull him for a chat because he's her type. She's not over Nico, but she wants to try and see if there's anything there with Taylor. And then she asks Hannah not to tell anyone. Hannah agrees to this. And then she's sitting up there with Chrissy having a conversation. And Taylor comes across and you can see her excitement, how her eyes light up. And Taylor wants to let Chrissy know that he really likes her, or is open to exploring a connection with her. I feel like you were saying he really likes her. She feels like he wanted to explore connection. I still stand on you. He really liked her, and he wants to see if he can recouple. That's the impression that I get. Or he wants to try and put himself in a love triangle. That way he's not sent home. I don't know. As soon as he's left, you have now Hannah telling, Chrissy, oh, I like him. I want to have a conversation with him and see if there's anything there, because when he first came in, I was open to getting to know him, but then I was already in something with Nico. And it's like, no, you like being chased by the boys. And because Nico has stopped chasing you because he thinks you're settled, this is why you are claiming that you like Tyler. I feel like you like Tyler now, and you're letting all the girls know so that they can take a step back. The audacity to ask, Chrissy to say, don't tell anyone because you're the only person that I've told. And it's like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. It's not making sense, because why do you keep telling people and then asking them to keep it a secret because they're the only person you've told? You have Em meet up with Sophie in the changing room, and she's sort of saying to Sophie, I'm worried that Chris is going to try and pull Taylor for a chat because it seems she's really interested in Taylor. And it's like, Taylor's been singing it on the rooftops that he is open to exploring a connection with her. It's not that Chrissy has gone after him. Chrissy had written him off, but he himself has gone back to her and told her that he's open. So if you need to address anything, address it with Tyler. Don't sort of address it with Chrissy. Chrissy has nothing to do with you. You then have all the girls sit up. Well, the OG girls, you have Mimi, Sophie, Hannah, and have a conversation whereby they're now sort of trying to alienate because they are seeing her as the bad guy because she's going after Tyler. And it's like, no, Tyler is the one who came on his own and told her he was open to getting to know her. And for Hannah to reveal a secret when her secret is being kept by everybody else doesn't make sense to me. She's just after the drama and she's trying to be toxic. I have a feeling she's trying to get the girls to start fighting. That way, when they're fighting, she can slide in and go after Taylor. Taylor hasn't said he likes her, though. He hasn't. He liked her when he first came in and she shut him down, and he has moved on. So the audacity to want to go after Taylor when she's got Nico doesn't make sense. And for her to be revealing somebody else's secret to the girls, I don't get it. Because now you have the girl saying, oh, so she's going after Tyler and she's also going after Dylan. Make it make sense. And Mimi, please keep quiet. I don't know what Mimi's beef is with Dylan, because she's now encouraging Sophie's madness, because Sophie's saying, I want to go for a kiss with Dylan to see if that spark is still there. I don't know whether she's trying to compare the kiss with Mercedes as compared to the kiss with Dylan, or what the hell is going on there. I don't get it. And Mimi needs to mind her business. Please, Steph, do your thing and keep your girl with you. Why is she constantly all over the villa on her own and then causing trouble? So you now have poor Chrissy telling Kayla that Taylor has just come up to her and said, he's open to getting to know her. He's implied he's open to getting to know her. And she doesn't know what to do because she's in a couple with Dylan, but she also likes Taylor and doesn't know where she stands. And it's like, go for what you want. Go for what you want. As long as you leave Dylan alone for Sophie, I'm happy. I'm good. So anyway, so Dylan goes up to where the girls are and tries to pull Sophie for a chat. And because all the girls knew that Sophie wanted to kiss Dylan, they then sort of left them up there. And because it's so private, no one knows what's going on. Anyway, you have Sophie finally get her kiss. And as soon as she gets a kiss, Dylan gets excited. And out of the blue, you have Chrissy come looking for Dylan because she hasn't seen Dylan in a while. Dylan is sat on the bench. He can't stand up because little Dylan is excited. Sophie is busy adjusting her clothes and she doesn't know what to do. She got what she wanted. I felt sorry for Chrissy. I really did feel sorry for Chrissy because it was uncomfortable. She didn't know how to behave. But then at the same time, I didn't get her comment that, he didn't tell me that he was still open to getting to know Sophie. And it's like, you stole him from Sophie. He was already in a couple with Sophie. What did you expect? That the moment you stole him, he was going to shut down Sophie and turn on to you? No, he's going to still see if there's something there before he moves on to you. Dylan and Sophie were embarrassed. The girls, you had Em and Mimi were munching on their popcorn because they knew exactly what was happening. And the moment they saw, Chrissy run away from where they had left Dylan and Sophie, they knew what had happened. Poor thing. I really felt sorry for her because she didn't know what to do with herself, really. And it was very uncomfortable. And nobody else knew what was going on outside of her. And it's like, producers are messy. How dare they send, Chrissy to go and see that? And then as soon as the kiss finished, Mimi went for an update. The girls were trying to suss out Dylan what's going on. And it's like, please leave him alone. He's minding his own business. And then you have Mimi running to find out what's happening. And Sophie is on cloud 9. She's celebrating. Yeah, they did talk about the kiss and how he kisses and how he puts his tongue and whatever. But I like that they're open to teaching him how to kiss properly, or Sophie's open to teaching him how she wants to be kissed, which is amazing because not everyone is meant or is born with the skill of kissing. So, hey, it is what it is. Girls are mean. Girls are terrible. Because for Sophie to go from kissing Dylan and celebrating the kiss in the girls' changing room and then go and sit down and have a conversation with Mercedes and tell him that she's a slow burner, it's like, girl, please. We've just seen you kissing Dylan. How are you a slow burner? Just tell this guy you're not really feeling him. What is it? What is it? You and Dylan know you like each other. Just tell the people you're in a couple with that we're done, we're good, we're going back to our people. And go back to your people and allow them to explore connections with other people. That's the least you can do there for them. Just be polite and do that for them so that you don't leave them in a lurch. Otherwise, they're going to be very upset when they find out that, you were telling someone you're a slow burner after you'd just gone upstairs and kissed someone. Yeah, she's known Dylan longer, but still. Anyway, so you then have Hannah pull Tyler for a chat. That was messy on Hannah's part because at the end of the day, she knows he's in a couple with M. He seems happy with M, but he's also interested in Chrissy. And so I don't get why she suddenly decided to put herself in that combination and make it into whatever, square, octagon. I don't even know what shape she's aiming for, because you have the girl sort of talking and M is worried because she says something is off with Hannah. I feel like Hannah is holding back, but they can't tell what it is because no one has told them that Hannah has told already Chrissy and Sophie that she's interested in Taylor. Anyway, they go into the bedroom and then she reveals to Taylor that she really likes him and she's open to sort of exploring. Well, she didn't say she's open to exploring a connection. She said, how do you feel about me? And he, because he's friends with Nico now, he can't do anything about it because he actually revealed that when I first came in, I really liked you, but now I'm friends with Nico. It makes it difficult, which it does, and it's very awkward. And it's like, why would you open that door when you know that you've been telling everyone you're the mummy and the daddy of the villa? Everyone has made assumptions that you're the mummy and the daddy of the villa. So the audacity for you to now want to involve yourself in other people's mess doesn't make sense. I don't get why she did that. I feel it was unnecessary. I don't know whether the producer sort of asked her to do that or how it came to be. I don't get it. Because now you had everybody looking for Hannah and Taylor. So they all decided to go to the bedroom because they couldn't find them anywhere else. And you have Nico, M, and poor Zane walk in. And M immediately sat next to her man, claiming her man. And it's like, it's a bit too late. It's a bit too late, love. You should have tried to explore connections with other people, but you decided to hold on to Tyler, thinking Tyler was going to stay with you. I think Tyler, part of me believes that the reason why he wants to be with Chrissy is because he knows she's got a massive social media following, and that's what he's after. I don't know whether it's because he really likes her romantically, because his sudden turnaround doesn't make sense, and even Hannah's sudden turnaround doesn't make sense. It makes me question, has Nico said he's not interested, or is she just after the attention because she's realized that if she stays with Nico, there's a possibility that she might be sent home? I don't quite get it. Or maybe she's just bored because her friends have gone home. Either way, I can't wait for tomorrow to see what happens. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 12. Bye guys.